Now, thousands of kilometers away from the battlefield, millions are paying the price for the US-Iran war. The conflict could be unfolding in the Gulf, but its economic shockwaves have reached homes, farms, factories, and also small businesses across the world. Now, here's a special report on how one war is changing lives across the continents. Take a look.
The first casualties of war are often measured in lives lost and cities destroyed. But thousands of miles away, another cost is quietly unfolding. The US-Iran conflict sent crude oil prices sharply higher as fears over supplies through the Strait of Hormuz rattled global markets. Fuel became more expensive, transport costs climbed, electricity bills rose. Businesses began paying more simply to stay open. The result is a global inflation shock that has spread well beyond the battlefield. From Africa to Europe, from Asia to the Americas, families who have never seen the war are now budgeting around it every single day. In Lagos, Nigeria, printer Oluwatosin Odin-Miller begins work before sunrise, but often cannot switch on a single machine. Electricity remains unreliable, forcing businesses to rely on generators. Since the Iran war, diesel prices have jumped exponentially, nearly doubling operating costs.
Since the start of the war, the price of fuel has almost doubled now, because we normally get it before the war at 800 naira. Now we get it within 12 to 14, which is almost the double of the initial price we get it before the war.
Thousands of miles away in Santiago, Chile, taxi driver Felipe Molina faces a different version of the same problem. His diesel bill has increased by nearly 70%. Government-regulated taxi fares prevent him from charging passengers more, while ride-hailing services continue taking customers away.
What happened with the fuel price increases has affected me a lot personally. My car runs on diesel, and diesel used to cost around 950 Chilean peso per liter, which is about $1.02 per liter. It then went up to around 1,650 Chilean peso per liter, almost a 70–80% increase.
In Turkey's historic bazaars, wealthy tourists were once welcomed with handmade carpets. After the conflict disrupted regional travel, business collapsed almost overnight.
10 days after the war started, it began to affect us. Our business came to a stop by 90%, because what we do is cultural. It's cultured and wealthy people who come. A wealthy person does not come to a place where there is war. A cultured person does not come.
In Italy, farmers are battling a different crisis. Fuel, fertilizer, and irrigation costs have all risen. Farmers buy less fuel than before, delay equipment upgrades, and watch customers cut spending.
The current costs of fertilizers, soil nutrients, and diesel fuel are having a huge impact on our business, an enormous impact. We're no longer talking about increases of 10% or 20%. We're starting to talk about 70% to 80%. If there used to be at least some profit, now there is none. At the moment, there simply isn't any profit. We keep working in the hope that things will improve, but these costs are affecting our sector tremendously.
In New York City, Marlene Garcia carefully plans every mile she drives. Her family shares one car, shops at food pantries, and takes extra work shifts as gasoline prices eat into household savings. Even small expenses like buying ice cream for her children now require careful planning.
So before, what a $20 gas will give me maybe more than half a tank and enough to run around and make some errands apart from work. Now what 20 gas gives me is to come from work and look for parking and maybe one errand. Especially since I have 2 kids, it's very difficult to do that. So I have to rely a lot in either public transportation or probably just trying to budget myself.
Across the Pacific in Manila, Edgar Finales has seen his livelihood collapse. The jeepney driver now lives inside his vehicle with his daughter after losing their home to a fire. Diesel prices have risen so much that driving no longer makes financial sense.
Because of the high oil prices, everything went up. The fares didn't change even for a peso. So this is what we do, coping and hoping it will become lower and the war would end, trying to find ways to earn so we can at least eat.
Different countries, different economies, but one common reality. The price of energy has become the price of survival. These people may never meet, yet today they share something in common. A conflict thousands of miles away has rewritten the economies of their everyday lives. Business Bureau, WION World is One.